All right, the time is 6:33. I'll call this work session of the mayor and council to order. I'm going to go over the regular business agenda first. Communication announcements, pledge of the flag, ceremonial matters. Any questions about any of the ceremonial matters? Minutes, we'll put the minutes back on the agenda. I understand there's some question about the September 10th minutes. It's my understanding that what was written in the minutes accurately reflected what happened, but council wants a condensed version so that we can make the appropriate
We'll do that.
motion at that point. Anything on the October 23rd or 27th minutes?
Just some minor corrections. We'll do them with an amendment as well.
Or what?
We'll do them with an amendment as well.
No invited guests tonight. Committee department reports. We have Mr. Williams that he will be here tonight. Mr. Sanders, the city manager's report.
Just a few things. I'd like to hand out a updated schedule we've received from our LCI contractor. Mostly good news in there. I'll let you get it in front of you. If you look at item number 1, which is the project as a whole, the estimate as of October 21st was 30% completion. That's probably about right. We're right at about a third. You're starting to see some of the surface improvements, the sidewalk that's starting on Oak Road. As you go down, I just want to point out some of the main items. Most of the work obviously has been done beneath the surface. You can't see it. We've made, if you look at item number 14, the storm drainage structures, 90% complete. There was a lot of work that had to be done, obviously, with some cross drains and some connections. So that is that's an accurate number, about 90% complete there. Get down to number 20. This is the work that started first, the electrical utility conduit work, really. 60% complete as of October 21st. They've made progress since then. We're probably about 2/3 complete with the conduit work. And if you look at one of the most visible above ground I guess items of work is number 22, the concrete retaining wall there at Cobblestone. I can tell you that it will be faced with brick veneer. It's not going to stick out like a sore thumb like it is right now. But I've got to give the contractor some credit there. He worked on Saturdays and Sunday, tried to make it as easy as possible on the property owner and all of his tenants. So, and that's considering that we have a little more work to do before we put the veneer in. That 80% figure is probably correct. So, right now, the contractor says no problem. He has 300 days. He will complete it by the 1st of May. So, we're on schedule at this point in time. Hopefully, we have good weather this winter.
I see the last date is Friday, May 5th, Friday, May 8th. The parade is the 1st, and so, concrete, the sidewalks doesn't really matter, but they can't be out there on Saturday morning.
Right. Well, I really expect to be done by then. So we definitely know when Snellville Days is.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Sanders?
Can I just do a couple of things? I had a conversation with Jim Hinton, and we have successfully navigated the patent office, and we now are trademarked for both of our slogans. In all our publications, we still don't have all the paperwork left, but he's been given the go-ahead. So kudos to Mr. Hinton. And I want to, Eric's got an item or two, I think, on the agenda tonight. I just wanted to thank him for all the work that he's put in as far as the LCI grant application. He did a great job. got it in on time, and we hope for the best there. So that's basically what I wanted to bring up.
Anything you need to tell us now, or is it same that we saw at the special call meeting?
Pretty much the same. I'll just go over it for the public, just kind of a general, and then I'll just throw out a little bit about the tennis court estimates and stuff, and then just leave it at that.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about that?
Do you want to hear anything about the tennis court?
Yeah, yes,
Folks, now?
yeah.
Just real quick.
They range, there's really three kind of options. The general resurfacing, which is like the bare minimum, and that went anywhere from $25,000 to $45,000, from 1 year warranty to 5 year warranty. Then there's a step up from that with a different kind of surface that is still just a resurfacing. And that ranged anywhere from 80 to 83, and then there's a full-out total reconstruction, which obviously I wouldn't think we would want to do. I'm still waiting on a few USTA and a couple other grants to come back, so I don't know, yet where we stand with help. But that's a possibility also, depending on what the stipulations are, obviously. They may not, USTA may not pitch in if it's just a reconstruction. They may want it to be either all or nothing, but I'm still kind of researching that part of it. So really, the bottom line is even though with the new revised plan, the 4 courts pretty much stay in the same platform that they're in, with 2 more being added beside it. Really, when we get to that point, they would really need to be totally redone. So really, in my estimate, we should go with just the one which is the resurfacing, the general resurfacing.
How many bids do you have on that?
How many what?
Bids do you have on that?
I have 2 and I'm waiting on a 3rd one. So the 45, the high, was the one that was a 5-year warranty. The lower, the 24 and change, is the 1-year warranty.
One of the other things you mentioned on is the light. Do we know what's wrong with the lights on the tennis court?
Yeah, it's just the hardware is probably good to go. When we went through the economy crunch, we just made it so that they couldn't come on.
Okay.
The other problem is that at whatever point, right before I got here, the double gates that allow you to get into the courts with a piece of machinery is not only having a row of bushes in front of it, it also has a stone wall in front of it. So one of our winter projects is to make that accessible again. The problem is the backside has those pear trees, that you noticed, so you can't rent a piece of equipment to get high enough to get the lights. So we've never been able to access the lights to change bulbs or to do anything
Okay,
on the
so
one
basically
side.
it's software. It's bulbs
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe a breaker.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any issues with
Okay.
that. So whenever
Great.
we decide moving forward what you want to do, then the lights will be also addressed at the same
Great.
time.
Great.
And I don't think that's gonna be costly.
For tonight's purposes, though, we're just having information.
Correct, yes.
Old business, we have the first reading on the grand property. I'll have a motion to waive that and put it on our number 8. And then we'll have a first reading also on revision of our code of ordinance. We'll waive that because it's on December 8th as well. We'll have a second reading on Morning Star Church of God.
This is a conditional use permit to operate a church or house of worship in the Midway Station Shopping Center on Athens Highway adjacent to Papa John's. They meet all the conditions of the permit. Down the road, there may be some issues that the property owners are going to need to work out with parking. If the church grows as expected, we recommended approval with a few conditions.
Any questions for Jason?
What are the conditions? Anything significant?
No, there was a couple of trees the owner cut down. We had some letters from doing the replant those in the front, and then there's a broken fence in the rear. Due to some of the conflicts that may happen on Friday evenings, where we notice the parking is going to be the most significant problem, we asked the pastor not to start his services until 9:30, and he was okay with that.
Yeah, we corrected that in the,
Well, he said he wanted to,
I believe that was what I mentioned to you as far as.
Right,
They
well-
seemed, the two statements seemed in conflict.
we went back and looked at it, and I'll explain it to you.
Okay. As long as we addressed it.
Jason, there are 2 vacant suites together, and they're gonna just take one?
I believe it's just one.
They're gonna take one, but the one
For now.
beside, is the one beside it?
There's 3 vacant ones in there. I believe one is next door is vacant as well.
Okay.
Any more questions? Then we have second reading on the Linwood development.
Okay, just a quick timeline on this one. It started out as a 362 unit mixed residential development. That went to planning commission where they approved the project, but limited the apartment units to age restriction of 55 plus. After that, various leaders from the opposition group and adjacent property owners met with the applicant. A meeting that was chaired by Buddy Scott of the DDA. The plan, which is part of your packet, is a result of that meeting and compromise. It basically goes from a land use change of public civic to low density residential and a zoning map amendment from RHOP CC 62 to RS 150 single family variances for a 95 unit single family detached subdivision that comes in with less than 4 acres, 4 units per acre. There's a peculiar zoning line that's shown as well in the site plan. That was allowed to allow access to the future lake amenities for the subdivision residents. The remainder of the 45 acre property not taken by the 24, 26 acres of the subdivision will remain zone RHOP CC 62, and future development will require mayor and council approval. They've asked for variances to allow smaller lot size. Approximately 5,000 square feet would be the minimum. Several neighborhoods in Snellville already have these size lots and setbacks: Carrington, Woodbury, Old Hickory, and Stockton Wall. We recommended approval with conditions as presented that have been agreed on by the applicant and the adjoining homeowners and opposition groups, as well as the planning department, to change the future land use map and the zoning map with approval for all the conditions.
Questions?
Do we just have to pull up all those documents out of the emails we got?
I've got some full-size
I don't see
site
them in.
plans if you want.
Yeah, I've got it here in my email, I don't see it in the agenda packet.
It came later because we were waiting on the special, the results of the specially called planning commission. It should came from John Dennis direct
Yeah, I saw it in there, I was just,
because of the, we really only have like 1 day to turn around.
When we were pretty much, obviously, everybody knows that there have been a lot of twists and turns in this saga, because there were obviously a lot of players involved. And we tried to provide information to you as soon as we got it. So there probably were a lot of emails. Tried to put an explanation with the email as I sent it or Jason sent it. So it was an amended schedule to get to this point.
Does Linwood own the full 45 acres?
We were closing on at least the subdivision part, maybe the question.
Other questions? Oh, yeah, but when it goes through there, are they buying the full 45 acres? That's a better question. Or they just now going to buy the full 4 acres? Any other questions? Okay, that brings us to new business, the town green contract. Mr. Sanders?
This contract basically takes us from where we are through construction of the updated master plan for the town green. This includes survey work from by the designer, Root Design Studio, and gets us through construction administration to basically a CF. So it's implementing the bid, updating all of the bid specs, going to bid, and construction administration. The total amount is $32,520.
So essentially, Root Design is going to be the construction manager.
That's correct. They're going to take their take their plan all the way through to fruition.
Did we bid out, is this what the initial bid we put for the town green concept, which is
That's
for
correct.
design?
That's
Did we bid out this portion of it?
No, we did not.
Should we?
We did out for the design and for the contract drawings and everything, we did at that original.
Well, we
I
bid
think
out.
there was some confusion as to
The
that.
construction itself has not been bid out yet, but there is, his bid called for, taking it through construction drawings.
I understand his bid did, but was that the way the bid was advertised? Because I don't believe everyone that put in a bid put in one for the school construction management and design. It was just advertised as a design.
No, they didn't. I mean, we bid the
We put out the
design.
RFQ for the design work and the construction, it was,
The RFQ is just for the design.
no, item 4 in the RFQ talks about the construction work.
I think there was some controversy over that, so I just want to be clear that we're okay going forward with this.
Well, you're okay going forward with this. But it is obviously, the construction will have to be bid. It's over $100,000. This is the firm that was chosen to do the design update, and another firm is not going to come in and want to build.
Somebody else's promise.
Yeah, so, and I think everybody was very satisfied with the work that Michael and his team did, so we're okay with this. Obviously, we will bid the actual construction.
So,
I have a question. On the proposed project schedule, I mean, it shows survey and schematic design done by October 31st and plan review by October 31st, so we're not even there yet. With the construction, to complete May 20th, so being that we'll be a month behind.
We talked to Michael about that today, and basically, I think he's had a chance to talk to Jason. He put a lot of time in there for permitting. He's well aware of our deadline, and so hopefully we'll be able to move it. If we just move it up a couple of weeks to take weather into account, I think we'll be fine. But he did build in some time because he wasn't sure about permitting issues. And Eric, I don't recall anything else that he said today, but he understands our time.
the survey work is already underway. He already started the work internally that he could do, he just couldn't release his subs until you approved the contract. So some of what you see there is behind the scenes has already started with him. He's just waiting for the contract to release subs and really get it. But we've been talking about all the permits, we've had discussions about the table, and we've coordinated with the county a little bit already. So there's been some behind the scenes work going on. We haven't been waiting for it. So he does realize we are slower, and he's sending me an update every Wednesday. So if you want me to drop you a little note on Wednesdays just to let you know, I can do that.
Just as long as I know we'll complete, otherwise we're giving everybody else, like the farmer's market committee, his phone number. I got
Yes, we are.
He doesn't want that.
No, he doesn't. I don't want that, so.
Maybe not yours.
Okay, and if I could, I'll be making a motion under new business for action and consideration on the stat nominating committee's recommendation for the new board members.
I don't plan on making a nomination tonight.
Well,
You saw my email.
Mr. Powell, can you address that for us, please?
The mayor and I have debated this on numerous occasions.
It's paragraph 17, Mr. Powell.
The issue is the nonprofit appointment of their board. I mean, that they set that process by their own bylaws. It's not a city action. It could be the chief superior court judge, anybody they chose for that selection process. And so it is a confirmation from their nominations committee that goes to mayor and council. So it's not one that begins with the mayor and the appointment process. It's one that just comes to you for affirmation of a list of candidates. That group has to remain independent of the city. It's required because it's getting the hotel motel tax money. It's got to be an independent body. So it really can't be a committee of council.
So I intend to move forward and make that motion.
We will agree to disagree All right, that will move us on to the work session agenda. Revision, we have a loan ordinance, Mr. Powell.
I guess we're mid-process, I haven't drafted anything. We do have language that is in our consent settlement. I would recommend using the definition of the consent settlement along with a restriction, since we imposed it on the insulin folks, that there be a restriction that there only be one loan office within the city for any affiliated.
So when can we expect the draft? January?
I'll be glad to do one. Our norm, your staff is so good that I don't normally do the initial draft of those things. They usually come from the staff and then department. I mean, it's usually, and I consider that to be very cost effective, really.
Mr. Thompson, the second meeting in January?
Sounds good.
We'll put it back on work session for second meeting in January.
The second?
I don't, second meeting, not the second hearing. Sorry. Update on Burma,
We stayed in touch with Germa regarding our overall AD compliance, so we also have a meeting with Mr. Blankenship scheduled for next Monday afternoon to discuss his individual issues.
My question, who's all gonna be at the meeting?
I'm not exactly sure, just a Germa representative and myself. And you,
Will it be taped?
will it be taped?
Yep, will we know what's said or what's said or didn't say, because that started the whole problem a year ago.
I'm not in the habit of taping meetings like that. If you want to make a request of that, I'll follow up with the Germa folks.
That way we know what's said, it's on them. So, it's been ever since the meeting we had last March, and when it was, it's been an argument of which way what was said or what was said. And it needs to be wrote down or we don't.
I'll be glad to send you some of the documentation that I sent them, so you can have a chance to look at that. Okay?
city website, Mr. Manuel.
Does anybody have any questions? I sent you a new email today with some sites that Eric had found. I just want to keep this rolling in the discussion stage, not anywhere near getting ready to do anything hard and fast, but just want to
The
get
few that I visited, and you can really tell the ones that are somewhat done by the same people. They may have a little bit different look to them, but you can get a feel for them. And they seem to be relatively easy to maneuver around and to navigate, if you will. I haven't had a chance to look at the handful you sent, so
Okay.
clearly what's there is moving beyond what we currently have.
Yeah, we just need to start to
Narrow the focus, yeah, I agree.
So we'll put this back on for December 8th, just for more discussion and get to the point where we're ready to do something.
I hope that Brian will be back soon. Brian and Eric have asked to be involved in that.
Well, Eric sent me those sites, which I thought was
During the work session of the mayor and city council, Jordan and council announced that certain matters should be discussed in the closed session of the meeting. As council advises with respect to closing